What is up, geeks? So today I am doing something completely different. This is the first time I am doing a live lightsaber review. And you know what? You guys have been asking for a lightsaber review for a long time, and I thought that I would surprise you guys with a live review. That way I can answer any questions that you have regarding lightsabers. Now, in the future, I would most likely want to tell you guys in advance. Um, Finally, after a year, Silver Star says, "Thank you for joining the live stream." Yeah, it's been a while since I did a live lightsaber review. The last one I did was the Mace Windu one, but I figured that I would do a live stream. That way, you guys can comment and question because you do really like to ask about these lightsabers. And of course, I have a vast collection of lightsabers that I've reviewed most as far as I know, and I do have a couple more in store, but I will surprise you guys with that, and I'll give you guys a heads up next time when I'm doing a live stream. But anyway, I'm going to unbox this. I'm going to review this right in front of you guys, all live, and I was thinking more like just trying to answer your questions regarding the lightsaber instead of just focusing on doing, my typical review and demo kind of thing. I figure that as far as demos are concerned for right now, I would focus more on doing lightsaber training videos because you guys really respond to those. So I think I might be doing that instead of just doing demos all the time, especially when it's like a typical, like a saber like this or even a dual wield. I mean, I've done a bunch of demos for different styles of lightsabers, so I don't see really a reason why I would continue to do it unless you guys would want me to. But I think you guys definitely would like me to do more training videos, so that's what I'm planning to do. So Red Hunter 33, thank you for joining the live stream. How you doing? So yeah, in a couple of minutes, I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm just trying to wait for more people to join the live stream. But in a couple of minutes, I'm gonna unbox this. It's a Kanan Jarrus Bladebuilders basic lightsaber, and this thing is for Star Wars Rebels. To be honest with you guys, I watched the first 2 seasons and I kind of fell off from that, but I heard that it's getting better. I know that Darth Maul right now, something happened with him, and I kind of watched that scene. And it was really cool, so I'm thinking of coming back to it. It really depends on what you guys think. As far as, would you like more Star Wars Rebels content on this channel? Please let me know. And of course, I would like for you guys to weigh in on what you think of Star Wars Rebels as well. So we're 3 minutes into the live stream. We had a couple people come through. I just want to make sure that everyone gets to see me unbox it and go through all the details. But all right, thanks Red Hunter for stopping by. I know you gotta go. I'll try to give you guys a heads up next time, so that way there could be more people instead of surprising you guys. But I just wanted to surprise you guys on the fly. So that way you can always, stay tuned and always check up on the channel because I'm always doing like live streams randomly. So you guys can keep up to date and all that stuff. So I've done a lot of Force Friday 2 reviews. I hope you guys have liked that. I'm putting up a lot of Star Wars content because, The Last Jedi is coming up soon, guys. Just a couple of months away, and I'm really excited. So anyway, I think I'm about to go and unbox this thing, and then we'll go through all the details, guys. And if you want me to stand up and just do a couple moves for you guys, I could do that too. Just to show you how it looks like when you're holding it, the length of the lightsaber and all that stuff, all the specs. So we'll go through that in just a second. Let's first look at the packaging. So it says Bladebuilders here on the side. It says Kanan Jarrus lightsaber. And we have an image of Kanan right there. Now, I really like the design of this lightsaber. It's very samurai-like. The coolest thing about this is in the show, if you guys don't know, he separates the top of the hilt from the rest of it, and it kind of doesn't look like a lightsaber anymore. For the most part. I mean, it still kind of does, but it's a way of disguising the fact that he does have a lightsaber. So in the back here, it's hard to focus. When I'm doing a live stream, you can't really focus as well. The quality isn't as good. That's the downside of doing it. but it's just basically showing how you could combine all the lightsabers, and that's what essentially is Blade Builders. You know, that's the whole idea about it. But there isn't much to this package anyway. It just says Star Wars here at the top. Yeah, so let me get a scissor and unbox this thing for you guys. All right. Let me try doing this without damaging the hilt. So there's just a little thing here. So usually you guys see me fast forward through this part, so there's a little behind the scenes. I'm just gonna rip this. I don't really care about the packaging for these things. This isn't like an Ultimate Effects or a Force Effects, so it's whatever. All right, there, I just slide it through, and we're good. Okay, nothing on the floor. Okay, so let's go over the specs for this. I really do like the design. Like I said, it would really be cool to get a Ezra version of a basic lightsaber. I haven't seen one yet. Please let me know if you've seen one, and send me a link if you've seen a basic lightsaber for Ezra. As far as Ezra, I've only seen the electric lightsaber. I know someone just commented on the live stream saying that this one looks like an electric one. This is not. This is just a basic lightsaber, meaning for those who haven't who haven't watched my lightsaber reviews, when I say basic, it's just completely plastic. There isn't any electronics in it. No lights, no nothing, no sounds. It's just straight up plastic. The electronic ones are plastic as well, but in the hilt they have sound, they have LED lights, and they shoot out to the blade itself. And so typically the blade would be translucent so you could see a light and all that stuff. So that would be an electric lightsaber. And I could refer to my my Lightsaber 101 video on my lightsaber review, and lightsaber training playlists, if you guys want to check that out. Or you could just search up Lightsaber 101 AjayCollectibles, and I just go through all the different kinds of lightsabers there are. Anyway, guys, let me take a look here. I really like the shininess right here of the activator. So typically I think this would be the way to activate the lightsaber if it had LED lights. You would either press that green button or the red button. It's very similar to Luke Skywalker's pommel. Hilt. And it's very reminiscent here. You can see that with the strip. I like how it's shiny. I like the way the metal looks. It has a shine to it. It looks really cool. I really like this part of it. It looks very different from the rest of the hilt. And you can actually see there's little strips of that too. Very nice. I really like that design. So here, if this was a real hilt, it wouldn't be just blackened. It would actually have like a hole in there and little metal objects poking out. So I could see that. This, I'm not sure if this would actually be the activator. I'm not sure what the function of this thing would be. Maybe this is to... Sometimes they would have like a tuning fork or length, something to adjust the length of the blade itself. So that could be it too. And here, unfortunately, this thing doesn't like disconnect like it does in the show. That would be really cool if they found a way to do that. Maybe just screw the top off or on. But then you would see the blade, so I guess that wouldn't make sense anyway. The bad thing about these blade builders that I really don't like is it doesn't have any way to clip this onto your belt, which is something that basic lightsabers in the past have always had, and that was a nice little thing, especially since these can compress all the way down to the hilt. You can actually display it just like a hilt, which is a really nice display option, but it's also nice to carry it around. But you can't do that. Maybe you can just loop a little clip here, do a makeshift DIY thing, but it would have been nice if it already had that. Now there's a little gap here. Oh, it's not little, it's actually pretty hollow. It's pretty large gap in the pommel, and this is primarily for, you know, connecting other hilts, because this is the Blade Builders line, so that's what they do. So you can make this like a double-ended lightsaber, a triple-ended, some crazy combos, but I'm not really a fan of the Bladebuilders lines, to be honest. They're more towards kids, of course, but it just kind of looks too gimmicky for me, and it also doesn't seem realistic. So that's what I think about that. So definitely love the way this was designed. I really like this part of it too, this little disc part. Definitely makes it look like a sword. And even here, I really love that gap that they have. Now, unfortunately, although this can compress almost all the way, basically all the way, it just juts out a little bit here. Typically, you could put this all the way down, but for whatever reason, it doesn't. So, in just a minute, I'm going to get up and hold this in my hand and show you guys how it looks like. But I just want to take a few more moments just to take a look at this. This is a beautiful hilt. I really love this hilt. Definitely something great to add to the collection. Now, as far as collection goes, like I said, I'm planning to do more reviews. I want to try to do another live one, but announce to you guys when that's going to be, just so you guys get a heads up. I will give you guys a clue. The next review I want to do is going to be a custom lightsaber. Something related to Disney World. Basically, I'm just going to tell you right now. Anyway, it's going to be one of those build your own lightsabers from Disney World. I might be able to do both because I have two versions, one my brother made and one that I made, so I'm thinking about doing that. Daniel Ailman, thank you for joining the live stream. Thank you guys for commenting, and if you have any questions, please try to send them now so I can answer them. I know you guys like to comment on my videos, and I really appreciate that, but this is your chance. If you need to ask any questions, you can also do it right now. So thank you for subscribing, Daniel. Thank you very much. So I'm about to get up right now. So if you see the messiness of my room, I apologize in advance. I'm going to try to do this without showing you guys that. But let me adjust my tripod here. All right. I'm going to switch over the camera. This is the first time that I'm doing a lightsaber review live, and I think this is something that would be really cool in the future. And I hope you guys let me know, give me feedback on what you think. So as I'm doing this, as I'm adjusting my tripod, I'm giving you guys a little look at my display here. I know a lot of you have seen it already, but if you're new to the channel, I have my 4 Stormtrooper helmets up there. So, where did I get the Shadow Trooper helmet? That's an EFX helmet that I actually got from New York Comic Con. It was on the it was in the Bait booth. Bait is a company that collaborates with a lot of different companies, and they had their own Shadow Trooper helmet, so that's where I got it. It was about $200 when I got it. Now I think the retail for that is actually $250, but since I was at a con and it was the last one, I was able to get it for that price. I also have the First Order Stormtrooper helmet right there. I have 2 other EFX regular Stormtrooper helmets as well. It's okay. Alright, now I'm adjusted. And I'm actually wearing my brand new Star Wars The Last Jedi. It's showing up as reverse for some reason, but anyway, I'm wearing my Star Wars The Last Jedi t-shirt I recently got. I also fixed my display here in the bottom a little bit. So I used to have this Power Rangers display on my glass table, but now I've put it up here at my new spot for most of my toys. So I have my pop vinyls here. I have my Marvel stuff, my DC stuff, then all my Power Ranger stuff here. Also Green Lantern power battery, Boba Fett plushie. I have my movie Power Rangers on this side, then the TV show ones on that side, next to my Morpher. Dr. Pepper, thank you for joining. And recently, the Legacy Red Ranger helmet was re-released, as well as the movie version, which I was so tempted to buy, to be honest. But it looked a lot bigger than this one, like significantly bigger. So I thought it would look way too big on me. And not only that, it's another 150, I think, that I have to dish out. So I had to pass on that, unfortunately. But if you guys can convince me to get the Green Ranger, I might give in for that one. Sinky, any idea? Can you send that comment again? It disappeared on me. It looks like you asked whether the Force effects would ever be removable blade again. And to answer that, I say no. I think the way they're going with those Force effects lightsabers, they seem like they're cheaping out on it. To be honest with you, those things aren't that good. Yeah, that was the question you asked. Those things are really not that good. I mean, to be honest, the sound is not even close to what it used to be. It's just so low. As far as the lights, a lot dimmer. I mean, you could get a high quality saber for the same price, probably at like Ultra Sabers, to be honest. Now, you might have to sacrifice the design. If you want something that's from the movies, that might be your only option right now, because these old designs, like right here, my Luke Skywalker Force Effects, that removable one, like that's hard to get, to be honest with you guys. You're gonna have to get it from eBay or Amazon or somewhere else, but it's gonna be over 300 easily. So unless I plan to sell that, which I'm not gonna sell. That's my favorite lightsaber. That was like my first one that I got from my uncle. Are you gonna get Rey's new lightsaber? If she does have a new lightsaber, I mean, as far as we know, we've only seen the Luke Skywalker one that she's carrying. So maybe if she gets a new one. The variety of sabers in the new Black Series is pitiful as well. Yeah, I loved Luke Skywalker or even Kylo Ren's lightsaber. As far as the stuff that they've been coming out with for Black Series, they're the same ones. I would like to see a more diverse group of Black Series lightsabers that they came out with, but you know what? They're playing it safe, and I can't blame them for that. Kylo Ren I have right here too. That was actually a good Black Series. I really like this one. I think this is definitely superior to any of the other Black Series lightsabers, to be honest. The heft to it, the weight to it just feels really good. And I think they did a really good job with that one. So if I recommend any of the Black Series lightsabers, I'd go for the Kylo Ren for sure. And that's probably like the most unique one, I was very tempted, like when I went to Force Friday 2, I saw a Kylo Ren ultimate effects that they've edited, so it looks like more like a fire. They've adjusted it to have like a colored blade. So what I mean by that is, like, instead of it being a clear tube or a white tube, it's actually red. So it makes it look like fire too. They put like plastic edits on it, so it looks kind of cool. Anyway, guys, I have my Kanan lightsaber right here, so it kind of looks pretty good on my hand. For you bigger guys out there with bigger hands, maybe it won't, but I'm 5'6", and I think it really looks cool in my hand. As far as the length, I'll show you right now. So for these basic lightsabers, you basically just do that. And of course, it's a little bit shorter than ideal, but it's good to practice with. Are there any other custom lightsaber designs you really, really want? I'd really like to have a custom lightsaber that had something like leather on it, like something like an Old Republic style. So that's something that I've been looking into in the future that I'm thinking of. So here we go. The blade, like I said, I mean, you've seen me review basic lightsabers. If you haven't, check out my lightsaber review playlist on YouTube, AjayCollectibles. They're basically, they're supposed to be the length for little kids. So this is good though to like practice wielding. It's very easy because it's shorter. I will say that the plastic for these are getting cheaper. I don't know if you can see that, but it just It just doesn't seem as sturdy as it used to be. What I will say though is it's very straight. Like in the past, I've seen some that were bent, but they were very strong. Like I'd have to test this out to see how strong it is. But as far as I know, it kind of looks cheap on me. But the color is good. I'll say that it looks really nice and blue. There aren't many marks on it, so that means not too many people have played with it in the store. So that's good. So yeah, you could even hear the sound when I'm like twirling it around. That's kind of cool. Dr. Pepper, I will not dab. I'm sorry. I kind of like that. Kind of annoys me, but I'd have to get more than one request to be honest. Hi, unknown man. What's up, Fly Black Guy? Do you like Ultimate Effects or basic lightsabers better? You know, it's I have more fun with basic lightsabers to be honest. Collecting wise, yeah, Ultimate Effects lightsabers and Force Effects and anything else other than a basic lightsaber is a lot nicer looking. But what I do like about these is that they collapse all the way so you can display it like a hilt. So that's the cool thing about it. Especially the Ultimate Effects lightsabers, they're not removable blades. I do not have the Captain Phasma Nerf Blaster. If I see it for a good price, maybe I'll get it, but I'm not interested in any of the Nerf blasters they come out with so far. And I do have the Kylo Ren lightsaber. I have a bunch of different versions of that. A ton of versions actually. If you checked out my channel, you'll see them. Ultimate Effects is dead in terms of different designs. Yeah, I would agree. There really isn't anything that I'm interested in. Ultimate Effects, as far as Disney effects, I see them doing more now. I saw them come out with a Yoda one for Force Friday 2, so that's cool. They already had the Luke, they had the Darth Vader, they had Kylo Ren, and I think the Luke is what they're showing as Rey's lightsaber. And I'm sure they'll come out with Luke's for his green lightsaber. That'd be cool. So yeah, I think Disney Effects, if anything, is doing better, but they're very, very similar to Ultimate Effects. Yeah, they're kind of like the same thing, except their blades are colored. Ultimate Effects, there really isn't any new designs, like you said, except for the new Kylo Ren that they edited. There is a Luke art. Yeah, you're right, actually. You know what? You're right. There is a Luke Revenge. I was about to say Revenge of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi, green lightsaber that they already have. So I am mistaken about that. Thank you for commenting. So I'm just twirling around right now. This is also your chance if you have any questions as far as certain moves or anything. You guys can ask me right now. This is why I'm doing the lightsaber review live, so that way I can kind of show you guys. Now, if I was battling or if I wanted to use this to the best of my ability, I would hold it right here at this choke point, right under where they have this disc, and it's actually pretty well balanced. Like I don't mind it right here, and it feels really good because of this disc. The only thing is, like, if you're trying to do more complicated moves, it might get in the way, but it definitely helps you to be more stable. So I wouldn't say this is the best one-handed lightsaber, but this might be the best for a two-handed, because it's kind of designed to be like a samurai sword. So, you know, doing movements like this would probably benefit you more. So what I like to do is hold at the balance point, the choke point, whatever you want to call it. So that would be under the disc. And then the other hand, I know it's awkward at first, but it would be near the pommel. And that kind of gives you the most dynamic movement. Because then, I know naturally you might want to go like here, but that kind of, look at the range of movement now. If I'm trying to do the same moves that I was doing, it requires me to really twist my wrists, and that can become uncomfortable, and it isn't as fast. But if I go here, see that? If I go here, it's a lot more fast, fluid, and it's less strain on my wrist. I like how it kind of makes this squealy sound, because what it has is like this little hole at the tip, so you could hear the air going through. Do you ever duel? Goob, thank you for joining. I don't really duel too much. Did you think Kanan's lightsaber design was silly when you first saw it? I thought it was a really beautiful design. I actually saw the real, if you want to call it real, the real version of this at Disney World, at Star Wars Launch Bay. I even saw Ezra's too, which was beautiful. But they completely redid it. They made it look like a live action version of the lightsaber, and it was so beautiful. I really like the design. I think it's reminiscent of the Old Republic era. Very reminiscent of the old style of lightsabers, so I kind of like it. Ezra's is very different in design, a lot more modern, and of course like more practical. I mean, you could have a blaster with it, so it was cool. I liked it too, but it's definitely different. So keep on with the comments, guys. I'm gonna end this in about 4 minutes. It'll be about half an hour for the live stream. Unless you guys have a lot of questions, then I'll try to stay on as much as I can. I really like how this feels though. This is a lot of fun. I like this a lot. So a custom lightsaber site that has movie accurate lightsabers. There's a ton, to be honest. I think Park Sabers has some really good stuff. Check out Park Sabers. Check out Ultra Sabers too. I mean, to be honest though, anything that's going to be movie accurate is going to be more expensive, and that's just more of the demand. So it's just trying to look it up. Try to look up some custom lightsaber sites that have those. What is a Black Stormtrooper meant for? The Shadow Troopers. The Shadow Stormtroopers were a Star Wars legend kind of thing. They kind of operated at nighttime and all that stuff. It was more of like a shadow group. Spec Ops. Kind of like the Death Troopers in Rogue One. I'd kind of like relate them to them. Except they weren't just like your top-notch soldiers. They were, in Rogue One, they were with the Death Troopers, you know, they were protecting Krennic. But the Shadow Troopers were just, you know, an elite group that were just operating like a SWAT team, I would say. Do you think Hasbro should make a Star Killer lightsaber? Yes. I would like that. They probably won't, just because he's not involved anymore. So, you know, unless they bring him back for Star Wars Rebels, which I think is probably the best place to really use him, I don't think so. So I really don't know. I really don't know if they would use Star Killer. It would be great though, because they still have the voice actor, and he was really cool. So that would be great. Speaking of Star Killer, using the Star Killer reverse hold on the lightsaber, reverse technique, if you will. And if I was doing reverse technique, I would kind of use the same thing if I wanted to do two hands. Clone Wars or Rebels, which do you prefer? That's a hard one. Rebels takes place in a time that wasn't ever shown in the movies, which is really cool, but at the same time you don't have a lot of characters there that you like, because there are a bunch of new ones. So that's a nice thing, but at the same time that's the good thing about Clone Wars. You have a bunch of characters you already love, and there was a ton of stories there. I mean, a great amount of stories. I really enjoyed Clone Wars, And although there was a lot of filler episodes, like crazy, stupid, like filler episodes, I still went from beginning to end with that series. But Rebels, I'm having trouble trying to finish that up. So, I don't know. Like, I want to get into Rebels. I know it's a better show as far as story-wise, but I'm not really into it. Favorite lightsaber duel of all time. I'm going to try to say it using movement, okay? My favorite lightsaber duel had this in it, okay? And I hope someone could comment and tell me which one I'm referring to. This is where the move was actually first used, I think. Anakin versus Obi-Wan is correct. So they had this little, they had this clash, right? They were clashing. They were doing like a bunch of basic moves, hitting each other. And then they stepped back and they used the Obi-Annie or the Infinity Spin, the first lightsaber training video that I did on this channel is what they did. So it's been a move that a lot of people use now, and it was because of that fight. I mean, that fight was just crazy from beginning to end. It was a lot of feels, you know, like I think there's a lot of meaning behind that fight. As far as just straight up aesthetics though, as far as straight up moves, I mean, obviously Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, that was a great fight, but it wasn't like this one because of the story. I mean, we barely even knew who Darth Maul was. We didn't really get a background. We didn't really care about him. But here you cared about both characters of, Anakin and Obi-Wan. So I'm about to end the live stream. Thank you guys for commenting and questioning. I'll give it a couple more minutes just to, if you guys want to comment some more, ask some more questions. But thank you guys for joining. I had a really good response here. It's great to have fans where, literally I put out a surprise live stream and a bunch of you showed up and participated. So that's really cool. And I hope next time when I announce and schedule the live stream that even more people come, and that would be a lot of fun. And I love lightsabers, guys. I know that's like all that you want on this channel sometimes. I feel like there's a good amount of you that just want lightsaber reviews. But unfortunately, that's not just the only thing that I collect. And not only that, if that was the case, my whole entire room would just be literally lightsabers. And, to be honest, to your average Joe, that's kind of what it looks like. I mean, look around. I mean, I have a lot of lightsabers already. But unfortunately, I've already done a bunch of the reviews. I have about, I want to say, 3 more lightsabers that I can review if I wanted to review it right now. But I'm going to have to spread it out, and I will try to get this next lightsaber review, this live stream, way before Star Wars Episode 8, so don't worry. It's not going to be like another year. It's not going to be like another 6 months. It's going to be within the next couple weeks to a month. Okay, guys? I'll definitely try to get that in sooner than later. And hopefully a new lightsaber is revealed in Star Wars Episode 8, so I can continue to do more lightsaber reviews. As far as custom lightsabers, they're really expensive, guys. I mean, one of my favorite lightsabers, my Emerald Manticore right here, I think it's one of the highest reviewed on the channel. And that thing cost me a good $500, so yeah, I wish I could afford to get lightsabers all the time. I do want to get one that's more like Old Republic style, kind of like this, but wrapped with leather. That would be really cool. Something with brown in it, make it look like it's worn. I really like that look, and something that would be completely different from any of the lightsabers that I have right now. So yeah, I hope you guys like my little tour. This is a little bit of a tour. How much did the Electrum Wind cost? The Electrum Wind right here, the Mace Windu one, this one right here, if I remember correctly, it's about around the range of 300. Now, it didn't have all the specs that my Manticore had, but it had a good amount. I mean, it has sound, it has lights, obviously. So that's about 35, guys. Thank you guys for joining. I really, really appreciate it. I love you guys. So until next time, embrace, express, and enjoy yourself. May the Force be with you always, my young Padawan.